So yeah, I remember that you were, I think, the first person that ever commented on my YouTube videos, and still
Really?
basically do. The f-
Yeah, and I actually look forward to it because you know, uh, it's along the lines of things where I'm already thinking on these levels and I already see these things playing out. So it's like, it's nice to finally come across somebody and the other people that you bring on who I can actually mentally relate to. Because I can relate to people a lot through experiences I've had, but you already know sometimes there's only so far you can get to people. So it makes it kind of sucks the joy out of communication.
yeah, sometimes you'll be talking with something and or someone, and you'll be getting really, really deep about something, and you'll just hit a wall, and they won't be able to process beyond that. That was always strange to me. Why that happens?
I do agree. And it's interesting to just like you can see when it hits them, they just like change. Like they just can't go any further.
Yeah, I guess I've learned to, I don't know, avoid people. I mean, I still
Same.
interact with people, online, offline, but I think most importantly, I've learned to not want or really need anything from anyone. And it's very freeing when you're like that. When you're a deep person, yeah, you're probably not going to feel like you're getting satiated by the external world. So you have to obviously go into your internal world and find what actually matters to you. So that's what I do.
Indeed. Yeah, and there's people who will want me. They'll want me to be in their world, but they just I can't do that. I can't do it because I just can't. They can't get on the same level I am. So I feel like I have to like bring myself really far down. So for the most part, I just prefer to be by myself or with my children because my children, people would think you can't talk to your kids about deep things, but I've done that their whole life, and because I've done that, they're able to understand a lot more than other kids can. So they're like the only people I can really have deep conversations with, like at midnight.
Yeah, I mean you're supposed to give kids deep things to think about and
Mhm.
offer them reflection moments. When I was growing up,
And
that
it's
was
something we
basic.
lack.
Yeah, when I was growing up, that's basically what I didn't ever have. It was
Same.
all right. Every time you have a crazy idea, Raymond, just go to the Bible and it will solve your answer. And it never did. And so we get into these really weird repressive structures where we try to make our kids dumber, don't ask questions, sit down, shut up, you should that thinking that's crazy and just get a job. And that creates our our sick population we have now. So you got to
Indeed.
teach your kids to think properly.
Yeah, or to think at all, because a lot of people don't even they'll distract their kids just so they'll have more time to do whatever they do, rather than like give their kids like a some things to ponder, or like try something new, observe the properties of things. You know,
Give them an iPad and
give them an iPad, walk away, and you go enjoy your dopamine you're getting from whatever.
yeah, looking at screens and I don't know, get hypnotized by the artificial light.
And then the constant barrage of visuals constantly changing, colors, sounds, sound effect on sound effect, just constant stimulation.
Yeah, it definitely is creating weird effects in kids, but also I think that our ability to process things is also getting much more advanced and sophisticated as well. So
I see
the
that.
younger generation were able to process so much information that I mean, you give like an iPhone to your grandma or whatever, they don't even know what the heck this thing is anymore. But to
Yeah.
us, we just understand the interfaces of it almost as if it's already an extension of our reality, and that's a good thing. And it will keep going like that.
Yeah, because that actually does help prime you to be able to apply that in your world outside of the screen to where you can process things, you can pick up on more things. You just have to make sure that you refine the balance and maintain, but allow it to shift.
Yeah. So what kind of reality are you designing? You look very Ojibwe. That's what I am.
What is that?
Or Native American. You look like you have some Native American in
Oh,
you.
people always say that. My dad was adopted, so I'm not quite sure what's on his side, but people have always thought that I'm like Native American or some sort of Asian. I've been asked if I'm from Nepal before, but I don't really know. As far as I know, I'm just from Southeast Texas, from white mom and dad that kind of he did R.I.P. Daddy. He looked Native American, but I'm not really sure.
If he was adopted, probably I'm adopted too, and so I don't really know how much I am either.
Okay,
So maybe that's a common thing with all
maybe
of that.
so. Yeah, I've pondered on that before.
It is interesting in a way because in this whole spirituality thing, we're all drawn to this information. We need to heal our trauma. We need to go back into our generational curses and heal our lineage. But when you don't know where your lineage comes from, how do you know what you're actually supposed to do? And
Indeed.
I think that was my whole problem kind of growing up. I didn't know because that part of you is like disconnected before that was never really a thing. Most people don't experience that. Like everyone knows their mom and their dad, right? And their mom and their dad they knew, and so there's that lineage that's tracked. But when you're adopted, you don't know. It like cuts the thing in half. And growing up, I didn't really even know what was me and what was not me. It's very strange looking back at it.
Yeah, actually, one of my brothers, my dad turned out to not be his real dad, and he was told at a wrong time and way too young. And so that from that time forward, it always kind of messed with him because it just seemed like he could never really know himself. And then it also messed with like the relationship between him and my father. But I could see how you're saying like what you're saying. That's something I haven't thought of because I wasn't adopted, but I could definitely see how that would play out.
There's a whole bunch of ways in reality that we can get all jacked up. Um,
Very true.
I don't know, but I feel like the more you're able to process reality around you, a lot of these paradigms fizzle away and they aren't even really real. I feel like so much of the healing journey is still trying to look at through the lens of how other people are doing it and trying to adopt their patterns into your life. And for me, that never worked.
It never did for me either. It's like for a while I did kind of dabble around in things and kind of look and see, like I'm seeking, I want to know the answers. I'm looking around at all these things, but I could never really stick with anything long because I just felt like it's just not for me. It's just like the thing that always worked best for me is just using my intuition and going with it with whatever that brings me to. And some it can be different from day to day. And if I go against my intuition, I'm sticking around on something longer than I need to be there. And trying to like force a routine on something that I shouldn't be focused on.
Yeah, that's what it all seems like. It seems like routines layered over top of what otherwise your intuition should be able to handle.
And a lot of it, we're just kind of basing it around like a market, you know, because a lot of our solutions out there for our problems is a market. So it's like, it's just like a way for people to make money So it wouldn't really need to exist without the need to make money. Like it could be a lot simpler. And also a lot of the problems we had wouldn't exist. But that's another story there.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the money part, the industry in all these things. I mean, what if money just didn't exist? What would we be able to do? And there's always this talk like, oh, well, money has to exist because this or that. It's like, no, I mean, really. Like electricity, it could still even be free if we don't have free electricity. Like we talk about all these like free electricity machines and that's all this Tesla stuff. I mean, everything is free in the sense that you just have to have people provide the good or the service, and that is in exchange for other people providing goods and services. And everyone just works their job that they like. And we all get paid equally, and there's everything's in essence free. I mean, it could be that way, but our reality doesn't work that way for some reason.
All right. That's something I've also been thinking about a lot. And how like it would help build a solid community if we could just, everyone work on what do you like? What do you want to do? What do you want to be good at? And then just work in a team to create this thing together where everyone puts their little piece in and it can grow and actually be something rather than having to go out there and earn money through a third party to get something that you have to pay for. But in the process, every moment that you're breathing, there's going to be stuff asking you or demanding or whatever for you to spend your money elsewhere. So it's just like this chase, like how they always call it a money chase. They're chasing money, chasing the bag. What if I don't want to run anymore? I want to sit down. I just want to sit under the tree and I just want to chill. Maybe sew my child a stuffed animal.
Yeah, it seems like even breathing costs money. I mean, not literally, but like every time I leave the house, like $50 magically just goes away somehow.
Seriously.
Every time I step out the
Seriously.
house, $50 is just gonna be gone. And so it is almost like you're on a ticking time bomb with money in a way. It is always,
Mm-hmm.
it's always, it could run out. It's weird.
Yeah, even people that have lots of money seem to have this like fear of they got to keep it or it's gonna run out or they got to have the control over it. But the whole system is set up to be that way. And if we didn't have to waste our time making the money to get certain things that we need, then we could focus on being a better person in general. Because a lot of the ways I've grown has been like through times where I didn't like I was isolated for 6 years, no car, no job. I did have my kids, but that's like all I had, like all I had. But I was able to focus on them and like the growth of their development as a human and also mine and look at everything that happened and take it, look at life, look at the way things are, take it, process it, get destroyed a few times, die, come back to life, die, come back to life. But I couldn't have been able to do that if I had to work that whole time. And now the past 4 years, I've, I've been working at this gym, and it seems like I still have. I've had a lot of major growth in this time period, and I'm getting a lot of experience. But simple things that I used to have time to do, I don't have time for anymore. And like I can see how people never make it to really looking at themselves if they're always reaching out for something that they have to do in the world or something's like pulling them in.
Yeah, it does seem to be a mechanism designed to control us, but given to us seemingly as something that's supposed to help us. Like money is the great equilibrium. It's the equal exchange thing. I work for my job, I get money, I can then take that, exchange it for something that you worked for to provide. It's that middle ground.
And
And
I think it's like,
yeah, go on. That was my thought about that.
okay, I think it's like a consciousness divide, really, because if we're taught that, like, whatever ways we can make the most money, like that's it, that's life, that's where it's good. If we're just taught to think that's like the best thing we can possibly achieve and not know we only get to know like this much and there's all of this, as long as we never know that, we'll be totally fine chasing the money down here. But if we were awake to our abilities that we truly have and like the power that we would have to just be like, no, like the power in just saying no or the power of being aware of things, we wouldn't have to be in this. Right now, we're in this because we're serving people who know more than us and they're gatekeeping the information.
Yeah, that's the one thing I hate the most is information that is kept restricted and isolated and not allowed to circulate. I think if there's anything that I have within me, like as a pattern, it's that I don't like that particular thing because I don't see the purpose of it. Unlimited sharing is ultimately what I see as the future. And with AI and all these things is what theoretically should happen. But I was just watching this like one video. It's like where some guy is trying to teach you how to make AI like digital influencers to then put on TikTok and make videos and like start an OnlyFans or something. I was like watching this video of how this guy was doing this. So like people are now making AI OnlyFans models and just Instagram accounts, Twitter accounts, whatever, selling those. People are subscribing to it. And it's like a thing that people are now like actively doing and more and making AI YouTube stars. And they're talking about, oh, you can make so much money. Just, these guys start this thing. It's going to make so much money. And I look at this stuff like, where is the consciousness in any of this? What are we doing here? And that's what so much of what
Yeah.
commerce is these days, and YouTube and views and money, and it's just stuff. It's not even anything that produces anything.
Yeah, it's literally like just buying your attention. I always think that's very strange. Like how you can make money on TikTok is just by taking people's attention. And it's like what's behind that? And especially with like what you just said, what's the point of that? Like,
It's converting our attention to digital tokens that we can then store and use to play in the virtual world. It's like that. What's that Black Mirror episode? One of them where they were in these exercising rooms and they had to exercise to gain a certain amount of points to then be able to try out for an audition to be seen by the world. And it was like this weird episode where all they were doing was just trying to get these virtual points so they could get love and validation and attention or something. That's where we're going with
that's
all this stuff.
for real. Like it's really playing out like right now.
People are talking about the end of the world. The world is about to end. We're all gonna, everything's gonna be crazy. But it's like they're always talking about how it's gonna happen at some future point. But it's literally happening right now. But it's in these subtle ways which it seems like people aren't even seeing. It's like all the stuff that's really important is happening in the undercurrents of perception, those layers that we can't interact with most people on. And so they're always looking the future, oh my God, they're doing this thing while like sliding underneath it all. The real stuff's happening and it's like they can't see it. It's really weird.
Indeed. But I do believe like through my isolation period and all the things that I was into, it does seem to be engineered that way for a long, long time. Like a long, long time. Like longer than we could even really grasp. But it's so it blows me away how like deep like every piece of life is trying to cover. But I do believe that if your consciousness is at a at a certain level, it's not really going to affect you. You know,
Yeah.
but with the transition, whatever the world becomes, the transition is going to like, things are like crumbling or whatever. So a lot of people are going to crumble and fall apart, and it's going to be like really strange to watch and experience with how it happens around us.
The thing that I've always noticed about it is this time period that we're in right now. It feels like it's already happened because everything about it feels like we're watching something that's not even happening, you know? So that's why it feels like it already happened because we're like away from it already.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just like playing out the time. It's a really weird thing to because this is exactly the world that we're stepping into that would make sense that we're about to step into. It's like the dystopian movie. We've all seen it before on the sci-fi movies, and then it's happening now. So
Mm-hmm.
where did the idea come from? Did it already happen, or are we creating it simultaneously? Anyways, it feels like there's something prophetical about our existence of being here now.
Mm-hmm.
Because where else would you have been if not here now? So we're here. It's just what's the reason? Why are we here to witness the destruction, not something beautiful? Or maybe something is beautiful, but we are being sent the signal that it's destruction. I'm always thinking about that. Out of all the possible variations of all parallel timelines and what I think God is, God somehow made this formulation of a bunch of shit that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, of all the beautiful things God could create, we have this world.
Very true. That's something also I've been pondering, and like, if God is everything, then that means it has all possibilities. But maybe like the how can I even conceptualize this? The possibilities being endless, create endless manifestations of that through each person and events or whatever. But the more we experience, the more each imagination is pushed out and expanded, which creates more possibilities. So if there's a lot of bad stuff replicating constantly, it's going to cover more area. But on the flip side, same thing with not bad or whatever. But I feel like the point I'm getting to is in the experience of life, for me, I feel like it would be most valuable to experience as many different um, experiences as you possibly can without getting, actually, I was going to say without getting completely caught up in them, but sometimes it's good to get completely caught up in it so that you truly understand it. You see the function, you know how it feels, you're in it, you know what happens when you're creating that reality. You understand the function because you're in it, and then you can step out and go into a new reality, and you can live these little micro realities. But with all the bad things that I've experienced, even though they were not very great in the time that it happened, they have shaped me like a rock in a river, and I feel like I'm getting shaped very nice. I like the way this is turning out. But in that, I had to have every kind of little type of experience, like boring, mundane stuff, amazing, blissful, crazy experiences, freedom, being locked away, like all of these things to give me like a fuller perspective and to know what I do not want, don't want to be a part of, the type of people I don't want to be around, the type of things that people tell me I need to do. I know not to listen to that anymore because I've gone through the experiences creating my own reality, and I've had enough to realize if I pull these these tools from here and these tools from here. I can create this now. Shut up and don't tell me what to do. Because right now I'm just working at this gym. I'm not making much money to be where I'm at. So people love to tell me, go work at the plants, because I'm in Southeast Texas. We got DuPont, we got Exxon. Just go work at the plants. Just sit there as a fire watch. Just sit back, take a beer after work. It's fine. You're going to get a big old paycheck. But I see the reality they are creating by just giving into that. They're selling their soul for all that money, but their time is gone. And that's not the life I want to live. So the experience I've had allowed me to have that, write my own manual and have my own toolbox.
Yeah, that's like my journey in a way, but instead of Texas, upper North Minnesota. It's basically all the same thing.
Yeah.
Factories, plants, everyone works at one of them.
Yeah.
Just it's all
It's like
agriculture.
nurse,
Yeah,
like
nurse
nurse
or
or
work at the
plant.
factory.
Yeah. Yeah. That's about it.
And those are the ones that are the most successful around the area because they got the most money. So they're waving around like, look at me, look at me. But then they're at work 6 days a week. And realistically, they actually don't have that much money at all. But up there, it is, you know, enough money because everything's cheap. And it is kind of weird, those of us who choose the different path. It feels like we're manipulated back into going into the traditional easy way that other people are doing, and they almost want to like sell you on that idea like, oh, it's really good, come work at the factory or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're like, I want to be happy there, and then for them, they don't even really register that that's something that matters, like happiness. Just
For
believe in
real.
Jesus and just like that happiness stuff, that's weird. All this stuff goes hand in hand, and you're right, you have to learn how to use your intuition with stuff. I mean, you could take the job, but if you know you're gonna hate it, well then that's following your intuition, and you're probably right. You have to do that with
Yeah.
everything, and you'll find that
Yeah. Like actually everything.
your intuition most times will say like "fuck you" to so many people. That's what it will do.
Yeah. And good ideas. Just because it sounds like a good idea doesn't mean like it's the idea that you should be taking. If it's not from within you, unless it really resonates. If it comes from the outside and it resonates with you, then you could take that. It's not always just push away everything other people say. It's take what's really within you and like actually think about the stuff. And don't just be like, is this gonna get me a bigger paycheck? Is this gonna make somebody else proud of me? Because one thing I noticed, I'm not from a normal family, and I was not around people a whole lot. So it took me working at this gym to really notice. But people love to flash their certificates or their degrees or their whatever it gives them like a title. They just, it's like their currency or something in conversation. It's like these are my gold stars. My son is in the military. My daughter is a nurse at blah 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 hospital, and she did this and that. And my granddaughter's on the soccer team, and but they don't actually like really care about their life or who they are. They're just using their gold stars.
Look, my son is in the Matrix. How about that?
Seriously, like how many stars does he have in the Matrix? Like how good is he doing?
That's how I look at that stuff. I mean, they're in the Matrix. That's what the Matrix
Yeah,
is.
legit.
I mean, I think I did my last video. I said my GPA in high school was what two point. It was either 2.3 or 2.7. Then I never even stepped a foot in a college because I knew I was never gonna
Me
go.
either. Yeah, I never stepped foot in a college. Oh, I did take a photography class with my dad one time, like a like 4 week photography thing. And then in high school, it was like I just used it as a joke. I was I was always hyper. I'd fall asleep in class. I'd like dress up in weird clothes and I should make like a scrapbook of that because It was really fun. Like high school was me having fun because when I went home, I was going to be isolated unless I just like ate sugar out of a bowl with my brother and sister and went wild and fucked everything up. So it was like the only time I had like a, I don't know, something different than just being at home. And I would just have a silly, crazy time. I did not make good grades, but it's funny because it wasn't until after I graduated when I started actually learning. And it's because I started learning within myself first and just gravitated to things I was actually interested in, wanting to know more about.
Yeah, same thing happened for me. In high school, I really did not care about learning anything. But then after high school, like basically right after high school, that's when I started learning about life. Because, when you move outside your parents' house and then now you're in a different city or something, now you're like, okay, well, I'm in the real world and I got to learn stuff because there's other people that have this figured out apparently. And what you find is basically everything that you learn in the real world is not even stuff that you ever were taught in high school. You're taught this theoretical model for how the world apparently works, and then you step outside, and it doesn't really work that way. And especially now, probably it really doesn't work that way. So
Indeed.
it's weird to grow up, especially now, because back then maybe like our parents and everything like this, they probably were right. Just go to high school, go to college, get a job, and just like, what are you doing? Just it's easy. I did it, but we're in a different reality now, way different.
Yeah.
The
And
reality
yeah,
that
like you
they're in
said,
is
it
not
probably
even
worked for
real.
them.
It did work for them, all of them. They bought their houses for like 8 strawberries and a car for $2,000 and paid everything off and just started living straight. And now, I mean, you just can't even buy a house because it's just too
Yeah, and
too
they're
much
like,
damn money.
why don't you have this big house with this huge yard and four boats and a truck and like they had to actually work their way up to that in a different time period.
But also, we're in this time period where we don't really need that stuff too.
That is true.
I mean, I find myself I'll just have fun on my computer. I mean, my computer is paid off. It's not crazy expensive. All right. Now I'm in
Yeah.
digital experiences, creating stuff on the internet. I'm in my own little world. I don't need a boat, a house, 4 cars, all this crazy stuff. So back then, that consciousness is almost representative of what they thought they needed as an attachment to their identity too. And now we're just like really fluid, digital. So we need less in a way.
Very true. Yeah, they actually did need a lot more physical things where you don't now. And even like their idea of like having fun, ours is a lot different. Where we don't even need to go anywhere. Like we could just do this. I'm on this old laptop running Windows 7. I've been using it for years. I just got my recording equipment I got out of a pawn shop. Got my dad's guitar from the 80s. Got this couch from like somebody gave it to me. Like I don't need all that stuff. And really I could just drive around and if I leave my apartment and I'm not working, I'm probably just driving around. That's like what I do for fun.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of when I was growing up too. That was drive around, go to Walmart, get some slushies from Walmart, or go to park by a gas station, and that's it.
Yeah, it just like when I was homeless. Okay, so a year ago, actually, I was homeless. I lived in my car, and then I lived at work. I lived at the place I work at for a while. But when I lived in my car, people were like, "Oh, how can you do that?" And I'm like, "Okay, just get off work and go drive somewhere. Go hang out outside somewhere. I'd go sit next to some water at this place, hang out, go climb a tree somewhere, walk like just park, get out of my car, walk around, climb a tree, skip, go explore something. And it, like, that was the times I was homeless were like the happiest times of my life because it was when I was the most free. And I didn't have to constantly be somewhere. I didn't have to go through the whole going home and doing all that stuff. So I could just really sit there and like enjoy where I'm at, enjoy like the people that I met. It was like a different feeling. And then I'd just sit in my car at night and I'd have all this time to like ponder and start creating who I want to be.
That's what I'm always saying about homelessness too. I mean, there was a period of time where I was sleeping in my car too, and I always look back that yeah, that was probably the best time of my life because you have no dependencies on anything, and it makes you, if you're adapted to it, it makes you healthier, just in all areas of your life. Because all right, you wake up at like 6, 7 a.m. You don't want to stay in your car all morning. It's kind of weird. So then you're just naturally up at 7 o'clock in the morning or something, and then all right, there's nothing to do, so I'm just gonna walk around or go outside. So you get in nature. The
Mm-hmm.
same thing like for nighttime as well. I mean, you don't have a TV to go and sit and watch at a couch. Or the homeless lifestyle was always a lifestyle that I kind of sought after because it's a way to reprogram yourself. But people look at it like it's a negative thing. Like, oh, you're homeless.
Yes,
Oh
that's
man, you're crazy. I
reprogramming.
was like, dude, I'm homeless. I don't have anything I have to do for anyone. I can literally, yeah, like I said, just create me. And everyone else is in a box. Literally, they go home and they go in their
Literally.
box.
Me and my brother used to talk about that.
So yeah, I mean, I always say to people that they should really, you should be homeless for a while. Either you're
I
actually on
agree.
the street or living in your car. I mean, living in your car is on easy mode, but you should do it. Just do it for 3 months. Just be homeless. And
Yeah, I did it for 2 months the first time and 4 months the second time. And whenever I did it the second time, no, actually, first time, the both times, I worked at the gym and I have a free membership at the gym. So if you have a membership at a gym or something similar, you can go, or I would go there, I'd use the bathroom there, I'd take the shower there, and I'd go work out sometimes. Or I'd go, there's a track in the back, I'd go walk around the track and like, I always walk around that track because every single day is different because it's nature. So every day something's different. Maybe some flowers grew over here. Maybe something died over here. Maybe that tree fell over. But every day something's different, and I would just like go around and see what was new. And you could just like take life slower and enjoy simple things and really like bring yourself back to life because I was so depressed and dead before that, but it was like as soon as I was homeless it was instant freedom. And I used to always wake up because before I was homeless I'd stay with people years. Okay, I'm talking years. I'd stay with people and I'd have to leave and I'd stay with someone else and have to leave. Sometimes it'd be like I lived somewhere 2 weeks and somewhere else 2 weeks and then a month and then 2 weeks and 2 months. But it got to the point where I'd wake up in the middle of the night and be like, "Where am I?" And I'd be like scared. But when I was in my car, I'd just be like, "Where am I? Oh, I'm in my car." Like I could be in a parking lot and not be scared. But just having to always wake up in a new place was really intense.
yeah, I sort of have a similar story too, where when you're staying at people's house, you don't really know how long you can stay. So
Yes.
you can't really feel the comfort of it, even though you're currently comfortable, because you're like, all right, in two
Yeah.
weeks I may not be uncomfortable, so I got to prepare. So it doesn't actually allow you to loosen up to it. When you're just
Yes.
living in your car, like this is my next foreseeable future. This is how it's gonna be. So it allows you to get comfortable, and then that's where you find that like connection to yourself or something.
Yeah, that's so true. And like I would always when I lived with other people, I would always be on edge because I'd be like, are they gonna decide to kick me out today? Because my mom used to just get mad about something and then just be like, yeah, leave. Like did that to all my siblings. But I would get scared everywhere I went. Like they're not gonna want me here. They don't want me here right now. And sometimes I'd just kick myself out. Like I'd leave because I couldn't handle wondering all the time, or just like feeling like if I simply just go walk to get something to eat out of the kitchen, I feel like, bro, I'm in here invading their house, and I just like I could never feel fully comfortable. But yeah, when I was in my car, I was 100% comfortable.
Yep.
But now I have my own apartment for the first time at 33, and I am really enjoying it. Even though I've struggled to stay in here, now I don't worry about it because I know I can create money by programming it in my fucking head real quick.
Just beep up, boop up, boop boop. Downloading Bitcoin from your brain.
Dang, I need to do that next.
Yeah, that's the type of shit that we might be on soon. We'll get all Neuralinked and then get our tokens. Hope not. But even that
I'm
stuff
still.
is still been kind of programmed into us like it's a negative thing. Like, oh, that's the transhumanism agenda. It's like, I don't know, dude. I really feel like if I had all my apps accessible to me that I'm already on, but in an interface in my mind, I would like I would create dimensions instantaneously. But I don't know.
I feel
Maybe there's
that
a
I
bad
have.
thing.
I've been thinking about that as well. But then I've been thinking also, what if I do have the capacity within me already, and like I could work to get that, and even if it's it's coming online for other people are joining it or whatever. What if there's a way for me to be able to access it somehow? I don't know how that would be, but I feel like if I work on my inner capacities, I am like a computer, and I'm only using a small percent. So what am I capable of? I just like to keep working towards like what is possible, and then push the limit to that.
Yeah, I think ultimately that's what this whole project is all about, reality designers, is how can we make formats and components for understanding ourselves multidimensionally and then make them things that we can learn to build into our world, either in isolated form or by doing exercises, by provoking our mind, by asking questions or whatever, or just learning, techniques for doing it. Before I even started this thing, I was kind of inventing in the space of meditation and doing a lot of really interesting stuff there, where I was creating these mind exercises where essentially you would spin up these turbines in your mind, and then you'd also do it in your body in different directions and locations, and you'd assemble these grids around yourself, and it would amplify your own inner technology. So, I mean, that's the stuff I haven't really brought to the surface with this project yet, but we're definitely going to launch that stuff again.
All right, yeah, that sounds really interesting. I'd like to experience that. And something I've been working on a lot more, I guess, like the second half of this year. I've been working on it for a long time, like making for myself, but I make subliminal affirmation to just like program your subconscious. Uh, it works best, like while you sleep or before you sleep or in like a meditative state. But I just kind of layer them under music. I do some at night for like rain sounds or something. But I just layer it under my regular music I listen to. But whatever I want to embody or whatever I want to change in my life, I create out these affirmations where it's as if I'm in that moment and I'm describing it right then. And like I am format, or uh, in like this bringing out the senses, or in a way that makes it real. So I affirm these things, and then I play it to myself while I sleep or throughout the day or whatever. And then when I'm programming my subconscious, it begins to come back to me in my reality. And it changes me, like at the core. It changes my viewpoint. It can even change physical features. But that's been like the biggest thing to help me kind of refine myself in the ways that I want to go. And I want to bring that out publicly as a tool that other people can use. I've just been working on it for a while because I want to make sure it's refined and done in a way where like anyone can use it and it's not going to really cut off any free will or bring anyone in any sort of direction. So I have to make sure everything is worded right and like the intentions are right in them.
It's pretty interesting. Someone was just talking in our group chat this morning about something like that, where what if you could embed these kind of subtle frequencies under each of our videos as well? So it would be something that you wouldn't even be able to hear at all. It would just be like white noise underneath the video.
Uh-huh.
He's actually working on an app to do that with specific sound frequencies as well. So maybe you should link up with him. But
Maybe so.
the reason why I paused the what I called the internal world project was because I was kind of running to that problem too that you're kind of saying, where the stuff I was doing was very powerful. That whenever I shared, it was like it would activate something within you, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really have the playbook necessary for knowing what the type of effect that's going to do for you or anyone else who does it. Because I mean, like we're playing with energy here, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is the meditations were always in my voice too. So it would be like, all right, access your front point and scale into the center and create a spiral and like a traditional meditation. But my idea was, what if you could program and put your own voice in the meditation, so where you're guiding yourself through the meditation, you know? So
Yeah,
you upload your voice, and your voice will do the right steps for every meditation. You could sign on to it. So
that's
all
a
these
really
things are
good
working
idea.
together. Maybe we're meeting for a reason.
Indeed, because this is all the same type of stuff that I've been interested in and like working on my own little niche of it.
Because I think other people would want to meditate to their own voice in a way, and almost that's like your higher self. Like, can we make digital higher selves? You know?
Yeah, when I do affirmations in my own voice and record them, even if I turn down the affirmations to where you can't, it's not audible because you're hearing water sounds or music over it. It's like that's subconscious. You don't want it to be conscious. But I feel like when I have it in my own voice, it seems like it absorbs much better.
I mean, that's one of those things that just makes sense that that would be the case. I mean, that's why I don't really listen to other meditation tracks at all, because it's always like some dude, like, all right, now take a deep breath.
Same though.
And I'm just sitting there like, all right, dude, and I just can't get into it. That's why I do the ones where there's no voice usually at all. So yeah, I don't think that's been even done before. Meditations in your own voice. And when I was first having that idea to do that, that was like what 2019. But I mean, we didn't have the AI thing. But now there's AI voice cloners now where you can upload a minute of your voice and type anything in. It probably won't be too hard to actually then port that into, you're now like saying like a meditation script with the subliminal music in the background tied with an animation. Yeah, we could work on it. We'll do it. We'll make it
Yeah, that's
happen.
all.
We'll design that reality.
Yeah, that gives it like fullness.
Yeah. So, I mean, what else do you do? So, music, subliminals, hanging around Texas, Galveston. That was
Okay.
the last place that I was in Texas. I really enjoyed that spot.
Did you see the Bishop's Palace?
Um, I don't know.
It's
Is that by the beach?
it's like it's been a while since I've been there, but I think it's by the coast or whatever, but it's like a couple streets back. But it's from like the early 1900s.
Yeah, I think I actually probably
Super
did see that.
solid. I
I
went
may
and
may have seen the outside of it.
I did a little tour in it one time. It was really cool. Every single thing in there was like intricately detailed. The walls were like velvet or something.
That is the thing about the old world. It does seem to be thoughtfully curated, and this new one is more like blocks and cylinders and sharp edges and angles.
Yeah, and that always draws me to like older buildings. I really love older buildings. And pretty much everything in here is like old lady furniture from garage sales because I just like how it's got character. It's got some life in it.
Even though the grandmas are dead from it, it's still got the life.
It's all right, Grandma. I'll take it from you.
For real.
Well, I wonder how many people were in this rocking chair.
I mean, that's why I like that sort of with clothes too. There's a lot of people they like brand new clothes. I don't know. I sort of like clothes that have been worn. Like this is from a thrift store. These pants are from a thrift store. Um,
Like almost all of my stuff is.
yeah, I
Like
think
you.
probably 90% of my clothes are from a thrift store. So I don't know.
And sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna buy something new because I never do that, and then I do, and I regret it because it's like crap quality now. So I'd rather just like go to a thrift store and like find something that maybe has been worn and washed multiple times. It's like not stiff anymore, or I could find something higher quality for so much less. Like I hit the $5 rack at the place next to the gym all the time, and it's like quality clothes that I've never had in my life. I could get it for $5.
Shit. Give me a $5 T-shirt. Just go on Temu. That's a new app now with all this kind of stuff.
Dude, that sounds like sus. Like it'd be so cheap that once you get it and it's broken, you can't be disappointed because you just paid $1 for it.
Yeah, I think that's their business strategy.
That's what it seems like.
Damn. Yeah, shit's crazy. I've been thinking a lot about the homeless thing a while lately. I feel like the more I am inside a box, it does keep my consciousness in the box. And sometimes I'm always thinking about those days when I was just living in my car and how
Same.
great that was.
Yeah, I'll literally like look out my window sometimes and be like, "Wow, I remember when I actually lived out there." But I won't. I won't go. I won't go explore or anything. It's like I'm more comfortable in my little box now. But before I didn't have all the little comfort reasons to keep me from doing it. You know.
Yeah, we slowly get comfortable and I got my whatever here and I don't know, it's weird.
I'll just do that in like 4 hours or something. I'll do that tomorrow, maybe, and then it rains. Or that's what happens to me. It's like if I want to go live life in some little simple way, and I keep procrastinating when I want to do it, there's like a reason I can't.
Yeah, when you're homeless, you just do it. You do it every day. You
Hmm.
seize the moment.
Yeah, you're just living in the present. You're not like, well, I'm gonna plan around things so I don't have to change what I'm doing right now. I don't know.
I was watching this video. It said like some government patent was made in the 2000s, like 2006 or 2002 or something. And it was some like electromagnetic frequency net that they have learned to hard code into building structures to reprogram your consciousness in a way through like the wiring in your house. So if you wire your house a certain way, it can reprogram your mindset in like a certain hertz frequency. So maybe that's the box thing effect. It's like when I'm in a box, I feel like I'm literally in a box, but I'm just
You know
like
what?
psychically attuned to that kind of shit more than the average person.
No, I understand because now that you say that, like I kind of forgot. There was one time I lived with this woman that she had a really nice house and a really nice neighbor. She had like all this, I don't know, all this smart stuff, like typical really nice house. And before that, I was like homeless or living in a shed or like all these places where I was more outside, like around stuff like that. And then living in that shed was awesome because I could just open the doors and the grass is right there. But going in that woman's house, I would just like feel like I don't feel right in here, and that I'd feel that in buildings. Everywhere I went, I'd be super sensitive to just like the lighting in here sucks. The feng shui is off. I hate the way your house is built, or just oh, what was something else I just thought? Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, we can just sense it. I mean, that's why I don't go to, for instance, like to Walmart. Like if you compare the Walmart
Yes.
Walmart lighting versus Target lighting, Target's still bad, but is way better than Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Super sensitive. I mean, Li-Fi, the internet Wi-Fi that's through light. That's a thing now. So it's just crazy. Lighting, I think, is a thing that is the most important to me personally. That's why I got this orange background, not red because red's the demonic frequencies.
I was thinking of that earlier, and I was messing with this ring light because it has like different colors on there. I turned it to red. Thought about that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the sauna again. I've gone to the sauna now every single day for it's had to have been at least a week and a half now. 10 days in a row, sauna every day. I usually never have done that.
Um, for a while, I worked at this place called Water Tree, and she has the woman that I lived with, like on this place. She opened a health lab on the other side where she has an infrared sauna and a microcirculation beamer bed, and then some massage stuff. And she's got a whole bunch of stuff going on now, but I was able to get like one free sauna a week or something like that. I don't remember, but I was doing it for a while, and I really like it. I've been wanting to do it again. I just don't have the money to like spare on that right now.
Those
Do
beamers
you notice some
are
difference?
crazy.
Huh?
Those beamers are crazy.
Indeed.
You just turn that thing on, bloop bloop, and then you just feel like the waves entering your body.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I feel well. It's like a regular sauna. It doesn't have it does have the rocks, but it's still like an electrical thing. And there's a big
Mm-hmm.
difference there between electrical saunas versus the. I mean, I've been to some saunas where they just have like big rocks, and you pour some water on there, and it just you can almost smell and taste the rocks. And this one's more of an electric stove rock sauna, so you definitely feel like you're kind of burning in there, which is. But yeah, it's not like a fancy infrared thing.
Yeah, and that one's only like it's pretty small. You can sit two people in it if they want to sweat right next to each other like that.
Yeah, this one's got room for like 15 people, and every time you're in there, I always see the same like three, four people, and then everyone else is random. We're just in there like, yeah. It's usually always someone that's on their phone playing some crazy music or just being weird while we're all trying to meditate.
Right?
That's one of those
I,
examples
I
of
hate that.
people that are completely unaware of like the social cues around them. I mean, who goes into the sauna? You bring your phone and you just like start like playing a game and rap music and just while everyone else is trying to close their eyes. Like how
For real.
socially unaware do you have to be? It's just weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I work at a gym, so I've got the people that'll come in there and just like start playing their phone and throw it on the ground and want to take their shirt off or something. And it's like there's already music playing in there, and you're actually not supposed to take your shirt off, but I don't know.
That's funny. My next video I got coming out. Well, we got like a few more from other people, But my next video that I'm creating is why I don't go to the gym. And really, like, I do go to the gym, but it's more like why I don't work out at a gym kind of a
Mm-hmm.
video. And it's mainly going to be like, yeah, because I don't like people.
No, I understand that. And working there and then trying to work out there, it kind of sucks because I work there, so people see me every day. It's not like Walmart; it's a place where members go. So people see me every day. So they talk to me, which is cool. Even though outside of the gym, I don't really want to talk to anybody, and a lot of the time in the gym, I don't really want to talk to anyone. But then when I go in there to work out, I've got to like like not look at anyone because if I make eye contact, somebody's gonna come up and talk to me. And it's like I can't really do what I'm gonna do. And then I don't really do any routines. I don't look anything up. I can't tell you what I'm doing. I just kind of intuitively like I'll look around and be like that one, and I'll just like work out however my body tells me to that day. So it's like I don't necessarily need the gym, but I like having that one place to go, and I like having like some of the equipment they have because I don't have, it. And I can just use something new at any time. I also don't have to pay for it because I work there.
Yeah, the gym's weird sometimes.
It's quite an environment.
Every gym is also different too, wildly different.
Mm-hmm.
Gyms are their own vortex of energy that pull people into certain ones too. I just
Mine is mostly older people.
I just go to a 24-hour fitness, and yeah, it's just kind of goofy there. I think I've actually worked out there, like workout, two times since my entire membership, but I've used the sauna like 100 or more times. I actually really just I bypass the entire gym and I just go to the sauna.
That sounds like something I would do. like, fuck all that.
It's one of those things like you feel the environment of the gym zone, and I just feel this consciousness like web of like dense energy in the gym part, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go to the sauna.
I don't know. I like weave the weirdest little patterns when I'm walking like through places. It's like I'm not. I don't want to go over there for some reason. I don't want to look over there. It's just like I feel stuff that I don't want to be a part of, and I'm gonna avoid it.
Well, I think like the thing with the gym is it's a place where people go to work on themselves. That's why you're doing it. So you're always interacting with people that are trying to work on themselves, but often the motivating factor behind that is oftentimes it's like deep self-hatred in a way because I need to get better, I need to lose weight because I don't like myself. You find that like more specifically within men. So they want to be like alpha, they want to do this or that. So the gym actually attracts a lot of negative energy, but it's energy that people are trying to move out through exercise. And when you're empathetic, you feel like the energy that's moving out everywhere, and you're like, holy fuck, I don't want to
Yeah,
do
and
this.
yeah, I feel like if I was in any other gyms, I'd do the same. Like my sister worked at Planet Fitness, and I could not walk in that place. I hate it in there. But the gym that I work at seems it's like mostly it's local. First of all, it's mostly older people, but we have like a mix of like millennial and younger too. But it's more like people who are a little different. People who are like outcasts or like people who are just there's something different. Uh, you know, it's not all like that, but I feel like that's what's primarily at that gym. So it makes it to where I can actually connect with people more, and I can like um, I don't know. There was a period of time where I would just anyone that came to me, I'd accept them as they are, and I'd just see them and listen to them. And even if it was like, dude, they're acting a little bit weird or man, they're kind of creepy, I just see them as they are, and it never worked out bad for me. I'd always just learn something new and get an experience from it. But it's the people that are like angry, jealous, trying to prove something where I'm like, dude, I can't. It's like I can feel it just like fuming off of them.
Yeah, I think the gym I go to attracts a lot of those.
Yeah, luckily,
It's
I
like
have a lot of
it's
that,
like a
but I do know what
younger.
you mean.
It's like 18 to 30 is the only people that really go to this gym,
Oh
and they're
man,
all
yeah, that
like,
sounds like the ones that.
it's like a corporate gym, but it's also only young people, and everyone's trying to be a bodybuilder, and everyone's like flipping through Instagram, and they all follow the same fitness accounts and fitness, 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 fitness. There's nothing spiritual. There's nothing higher dimensional. It's just like, I gotta take the gym photo. They're in a consciousness wave in a way. You see them in the sauna. They got their phone out. They're like scrolling through fitness accounts, fitness, fitness, fitness. Their whole life is the damn gym. And I'm just like, dude, holy fuck. Your whole life can't be the gym, you know? I mean, you can work at a gym, but have something else that you got going within your mind for these people,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I think they get a lot of times people get caught up in like that. They realize like that's changing their life, and they'll get like obsessed with it and be like, "This is it. This is what changes your life. This is what makes you good. Like this is it. You need to do this every day." And it does create like an obsession. I definitely see that a lot. But then they always get to the point where they're gonna overdo it, and they're gonna have some regrets from it, and then they're gonna have to learn from that.
Yeah, you can't max out just on the gym. You got to max out on the other parts of your life too. Health, wealth, love, and what's the other one? I can't remember, but there's a bunch of other ones. They're not just the gym. In fact, I would say that my vitality comes from not working out. That's ironic. That's what I was thinking about yesterday. I see a lot of people that go to the gym there when I go to the sauna, and I know they're 23. I know they're 22, but they already look like they're 28, 29, or even older. They're like burnt out. But I gotta go to the gym, man. I gotta. You can feel like you're stressing out your body by working out so much. Like I said, I think
Yeah,
I've
they'll
worked
force it.
out. I've worked out, actually like gone to the gym, picked up barbells and worked out. I think 3 times this entire year. I never work out. Zero.
Before I ever started lifting weights or anything, my workout was just me like running around, dancing, jumping, and like leaping and just working my body. I didn't even start using weights. I've been like, I guess, active for years and years. I've gone to that gym for years and years, but I didn't really start using weights until like the end of last year.
Yeah,
And I'll
the
still be doing a machine with no weights on it because I'm just trying to work like my muscles and trying to make sure my body's in alignment. And guys will go up and be like, "You need to put some weight on that, man." I'm like, bro, you have no idea. I wish you knew how to slow down, but I'll just be like, yeah.
yeah, that's funny. That maybe I'll go work out tonight actually when I go to the gym. Like I'll just try it for another time, you know? Because really my workouts are, I just go on a walk around this park. I do a nice figure eight around this
Mhm.
big landscape area back there, and I'll go walk to the coffee shop, grab a coffee or Whole Foods, and that's my workout. I'll probably walk a couple miles a day. It's my workout.
Well, I started in 2019. Decided I wanted to teach myself to dance because I'd never danced before that. I had just discovered that there was any femininity within me at all. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to teach myself to dance here at the gym. And so I did that. And then I also used to skateboard. And then as I was doing these things, I realized like if I start working out in other ways, it will actually help me to be able to do this. So that's where I expanded off at. But my number one favorite reason to go to the gym is to just either juggle and like dance while I'm juggling, or just go in there in socks in the aerobics room with a slick floor and just dance in my socks and pretend like I'm ice skating. And I like it just gets crazier and crazier. The things I've taught myself to do, like I'm really proud of because I didn't take any classes, didn't look anything up on the internet or anything. I wanted it to just come to me. And so I just go there mostly to dance and juggle or to do it outside and like like do it while I'm running in the grass and hopping over stuff, and like I probably look like I do drugs or something. People are like, "That girl is weird." The guy I work with today told me, he was like, someone came up to me and was like, "That girl is weird, man." I was like, I wonder how many times people say that. But it's because I don't care. I don't care who's looking at me. I don't care what they think. Like, that's your life, bro. Have fun with that. But I'm going to go leap over some stuff and have fun, like flying through the wind and twirling and enjoying my life. And like being super laser precise with my movements because I chose to focus on that instead of being a bodybuilder to impress other people. I mean, if you do that for you, that's cool. But for me, I just want to dance. I just want to fly through the air.
Gotta live for you, not for the gram.
Right.
The whole space is just crazy right now. I want to do more videos on the red pill and all that kind of stuff too. I mean, the whole all this stuff fits together so well. It's like a paradigm of how people are viewing reality, and it seems like it is the paradigm where there's definitely the most momentum and action and the most truth being told about a lot of what the world's going through, but it's still lacking severely in what is actually true. So it's strange. We just got to redirect these paradigms a bit. All of it. We got to design a new reality.
There you go.
And we got to make that app, that sound frequency app, and
For real, that is a
the
really good
voice
idea.
recoding thing. So yeah, join the Discord. I think you're already in it. Join the Discord if you're not. Start being active. It's been more active lately, mainly just memes.
Okay.
But
Well, yeah, I didn't have it. I just got it recently because my one of my brothers or two of my brothers never have a phone. Like they don't fuck with people, so the only way to contact them is on Discord. So we just created a little sibling group chat on there. But now that I'm using it more often, it would make sense for me to go ahead and do that.
Discord's fun. Eventually, our thing is going to be pretty poppin'. I can feel it in the air.
It definitely seems like if I learn how to use it more and like do more functions than just a group chat with my siblings, then I feel like I'm gonna utilize it more.
It may be the main thing that you'll utilize. I mean, all these social media platforms. I'm probably on Discord the most, and then I'm probably on Twitter the second most, and then I'm definitely on Instagram the last. Each of them feel so weird, and yeah,
I
I
know
don't I don't know if I like Instagram that much.
I've been thinking about that lately. How like Instagram has just like gone off, and it's not the same app. Like the reason I downloaded it a while back, it's not the same as it was. So it's like now when I get on there, the people I follow, their posts hardly come up. It's just a bunch of stuff that I didn't ask for, and it's like a bunch of there's some good stuff on there, and that like I think that's how I found your content was through Instagram. But I feel like I could just move on to something different and really like hit a lot more gold.
I'm always saying to people, just join Twitter or X, whatever it's called now. That's one of those platforms that I always slept on because it never really made sense to me. I'd post a tweet or something, and no one would like it, no one would see it. I wouldn't know what the heck's going on. But in the last year or so, that platform has gotten perceivably way better at just everything. And so you'll find accounts. I'm probably on Twitter actually the most actually, because Discord's really not a social media, I guess. But if you go from Instagram to Twitter, you'll find that it's way more engaging in almost everything. It's like a completely different social media app. It's crazy.
Okay, I hadn't looked at it in like years, so
Yeah, I
I must
just
have
got
switched
one
it.
like
Okay.
a few months ago, and I was like, "What? How did I miss this?" And the first day I downloaded it, I was scrolling through. I'm like, "This is so dumb." I'm like, "Oh, I'll just try it again." Scroll through. It wasn't until a few days I actually got it that I understood. Oh, wow, this is like pretty cool. But the ability to curate your world is much easier. Whereas on Instagram, you can click on one post and like totally unrelated to what you want to look at, and then it will just like store that into the database and then just start sending you more shit that you don't want to look at.
Yeah.
Whereas with Twitter, it in a way it almost never does that. It only shows you things that you want to look at, and it only gets better and better and better. So it's weird how it's that much better. Anyways, this is not an ad for Twitter or X or whatever, but I just like that platform.
Well, I do need to explore other options because I want to be more engaging. I've got a lot more things I'm creating. I want to put them out there, but I don't really like. I don't really know because like also most of the time I've been isolated was me not being on the internet. So I didn't really like get onto the internet scene much until like 2017 because I was super depressed and I started making YouTube videos, just like silly stuff. And I started making music and music videos to it. And then it was like, okay, well, I'm going to start engaging with the internet again.
I'm gonna start engaging with the internet.
And then it was like a child on the internet at first, honestly. It was like a rough learning curve. Oh, dear.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I'm making this whole channel for in a way. For people who don't really want to start their own channels, but like, hey, I want to make a video. Like, all right, send it to me. I'll edit it and we'll upload it. I mean, that's what we've done that a few times with some different people now, and I got like 5 more videos that I have to edit that are basically like that too. It doesn't pay off as much right now because obviously we have like no followers and no one watches our shit because no one shares our shit. You got to share in order
Share
for it
this
to
video.
for people to see it. That's kind of how the whole thing works. Anyway, but when we start getting 10,000 views per episode and stuff like that, and you want to make a cool video, just post it, and it's an easy way for you to get views to redirect to your channel. Like that's kind of the idea, like a community collective channel. We're all talking about the same things, different faces each time. I think it's the future.
I did like when I noticed that you have more people on there now. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I don't see anyone else doing it. It's gotta be mine. It's my channel, my
My channel,
attention,
my profits get
my.
my attention.
Well, yeah, that's another side thing. If this channel ever makes money, all the money will probably go to hiring video creators and or video editors, which will then take the place of my job to then make other people's videos better. And I also have a fund that I'm starting here because I create day trading algorithms. So I'm probably going to take all the funds into a day trading fund specifically for it to make money off of. And then at the end of the year, maybe pay that out to creators. So there's a bunch of stuff happening behind the scenes. We'll see. We're still early in the enterprise.
Yeah, and I've got a few different things I'm working on myself. Not really built enough to speak of, but in the future, maybe I'll have some things to add to it.
We're all about designing reality by designing ourselves. I'll have to do another episode too on the origination of this idea and when it first came to me and tell a story about it. Be kind of trippy.
Yeah, that would be nice to have a little backstory, and then see how it's evolved from the original idea.
It's evolved quite a lot, but yeah, it's kind of a trip. Like in 2019, I essentially had a series of really psychic visions of the future, and I knew that I had to create what I'm basically creating now. But what I'm creating now is like so shit in comparison to what my vision is that it's kind of hilarious. So my whole journey now is all about creating authentically what my vision is, which is hard to do because it's so futuristic that it's almost impossible to visualize. It's weird. But, we're going to do it. and it's a lifelong thing. I'm committed to life.
Yeah.
That's the journey of the artist in a way, though. Is like I don't know. The artist can never really create what's theirs because what's theirs only belongs to them. So it can't actually be replicated outside of their imagination. That's such a strange thing.
Indeed. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, I mean, you have a great vision for something. Guess what? It's only going to exist within your mind. And every other variation of how you make it a physical thing won't be it. And if you're a really good artist, it probably will not actually match it at all. And the greater the artist you are, it will definitely not match what's in your head. Because you can design in your mind all the time, but then when it comes into paper and on computers, it never matches up. That's why
Very
like
true.
all my best paintings, all my best designs are just shit that's in my mind. I'll lay out the canvas and like, oh man, Neuralink me, and I'll put it in Blender. But
All right,
nah, man, shit's crazy.
there's there's plenty there's plenty of like unique things within me that are there, but to bring them out would be like to make them ugly. To like I wouldn't be able to bring it out, at least right now, the way that it is within me. Maybe there's a transition period of ugliness, but it'd still probably never be, you know, as pristine as it is in imagination.
Yeah, and some things don't need a body or a physical form. That was like when I first started this project. That was kind of the thing that I was running into. I had such a good imagination for it, but then when it came to going into Figma or any 3D design program or coding it up, it never matched what I wanted it to be. And so I would actually like stop my level of dreaming because, well, if I can't actually create it, I'm not going to allow myself to dream properly because I don't want to dream about things that can't be real. So then that for a period of time, it was basically I had to stop thinking about this project altogether because I wasn't good enough. And then I got better and I started to dream again. And my whole life is kind of like that, where sometimes the best thing to help you metaphysically is to get better at something physically because then it allows the freedom again. It's weird. So the better I got at programming, the better I got at coding, design, art, I could actually now dream in a type of structure which made it work properly.
Yeah, with making my music, like I'd always have this stuff, this music I want to make so bad. It's there, like I hear it, and I'm trying to make it, but I don't. Either I don't have the tools that I need, or I don't know how to use the program, and so I'd be trying to like make it work anyway, the best way I knew how, but it wouldn't like turn out right. So I just gave up for a while. But then when I gave up, I began to like get better equipment and like work on editing like other things that I do, like audio files and stuff, for editing old songs and like practice using the program and like do some trial and error. And then earlier today or yesterday, I was working on some audio files. I don't even remember what it was, but I noticed that I was just blowing through stuff that I just kind of picked up on all of a sudden, and it was like now I know how to make this file actually sound the best that I can. When before it was like I'd drop down the menu and just be overwhelmed, but now I can like navigate it and I can come up with something and really like put it out a lot better than I could before. Even though it's still frustrating to be like, I'm imagining all these instruments that I don't know how to play. I don't know how to make them come up. It's like I need another person to be in my mind and receive that so they can do that part.
Yeah, and the fulfillment that comes from that, because that also it does happen. We feel as though someone else has to take over for me for the next part of the mission, but it's always you that has to do it. And then
Mm-hmm.
when you get the skills, Now you can actually do it. Then you start to get in the right frequency of it, and then it starts to happen. And you find the truest fulfillment when you're creating and doing stuff that's hard and took you time to learn. It's a very important reality design concept. You just got to do the damn thing. And if you don't know how, figure out how and maybe pause the dream for a little while and then just start working on the how.
And I think another part of it is you'll have to realize that in the beginning, once you kind of get like you get some stuff going, you're probably gonna think that you're so badass and like you think you got it, like it's good, and you don't need to learn a whole lot more, like, and then you're gonna be humbled with something, and you're gonna have to take a step back. But if you keep going and you do it again and you just keep going, you're gonna surprise yourself with like how much you grow from it and how you actually catch on, and it becomes everything that you were trying to make it in the beginning. It's like you just flow into what you were aiming for when it was hard.
Yeah, I mean, some of my designs I look back were just absolutely shit. It was terrible. And I'll probably look
Same
back
with some
and
of the music.
yeah, in 3 months I'll look back at my shit, and be like, oh man, how did I think that was cool?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The whole process
always.
is like that. We're constantly judging our work, and there's actually a way to make it fun too. It's like, yeah, my shit sucked back then, and it probably sucks now too. So let's just make it better. You gotta kind of like suck yourself to success in a way.
That's,
I don't know.
yeah, I was thinking about that like in life today. How I tend to always look back at the past year and be like, why was why was I like that? Like, how did I not see that I was like that? And whatever that is to me that I'm pointing out, it's like I sucked so bad. I got to make myself better. And I probably suck right now, but the fact that I'm always like, that sucks and I want to be better, like it just keeps making it to where I'm always getting better. And I do see how like all the ways that I no longer suck like that, but I'll probably suck in different ways now.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole journey of it. You just you don't know what you are until you start sucking. Oh my god. Anyways, I'm gonna go to the sauna and actually do a workout. I'm gonna intuitively move through the gym and move past all the bodybuilder normies, find my own way, and give it a shot.
Yeah, just see what calls to you. And if the door's calling to you, I'll listen to that shit too. If it's like, leave, I'm like, yes, sir.
My last workout, I think I was doing chest press with dumbbells that were like 20 pounds. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty strong. I can do a lot of weight, but when I do work out, if I do, like I said, it's barely never. I'm always using lighter weights, high reps, and just moving from one thing to the next. I don't got a notepad and I need to increase my weight by
Same.
2.5 pounds this time and increase my lift into Matrix,
I
man.
do, yeah, I do the same thing. Just workout. I don't count anything. Workout till I feel like okay, that's enough, and then I just like next machine, and it's like I'll be just walking, and then like walk by, it breaks my neck because I'm like it's that one. I just got turn around, skip over there, hop on it. It's like
I'm
how do you
probably
do it?
doing workouts that don't even make any goddamn sense, but they make sense to me.
Exactly. Same with me. It's like I'll be doing stuff where people have no idea what I'm doing, or I'll use a machine in a way that I'm working a different body part. I feel it happening, but people expect me to be working what it's made for, and then want to tell me that I'm doing it wrong. But I'm literally just listening to my body and like working it in the ways it wants me to. I don't have to count anything. I don't have to do any sort of routine. I didn't have to look anything up before I went there. I didn't have to write nothing down.
I've been doing some tricep extensions, but really I'm working my lower back. So I'm probably doing it goofy, but I'm intending to do it
Same.
that way.
Yeah, it's like whatever works, man.
All right. All right, I'm gonna go to the gym and hang with some normies. Catch you on the flip,
All right.
and we'll post the
All
video
right.
in soonish.
Okay. Peace out.
Peace.